Welcome back to the Heaven's Mail video podcast. We're here with Shadow, and this is the answer questions version of the video blog. And so the first question we have from Mitch Roberts of Georgetown, Texas. Dear Doug, I understand you're the lead singer for Lust Control. Why do you suck so much as a vocalist? Hey, that's not the kind of question I wanted to answer, but I will. Alright, so I'm going to answer that question, why I suck so much as a lead vocalist. Well, it's because I'm tone deaf. I took voice lessons one time, and when I was trying to reproduce the note I was hearing, I had to actually sing a half a step of a note higher than I was hearing in order to hit the note. So, but, with Lust Control, it's raw punk rock. It's kind of a metal, thrash, punky thing. It's kind of, I don't know how you describe the music. Mitch apparently would describe it as suck music. But anyway, thanks for that question, Mitch. And, with Lust Control, it is... the vocals are the weakest link in the band, of course. You've got brilliant drumming by Bob, and nice solid bass playing by Butch, and really tasteful guitar playing by Bradford. But, so what else do you want to know about Lust Control? This album right here is our most recent album. Came out on vinyl last December. And, I don't think I've ever done this, so I want to address some songs. We'll go song by song, I guess. Finger is the one song we wrote in 1994, where we kind of... took some riffs that we were inspired by the Galactic Cowboys, I Do What I Do, and the Crucified, The Pit. Kind of starts off with da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, which is kind of like the Pit vibe, and then kind of a trill kind of rhythm thing that's like Galactic Cowboys, I Do What I Do. We put those together and created this song, Finger. And it's kind of a finger-pointing song, it's stop messing around kind of message. And sow what you want to reap, grow what you want to keep. So, be intentional about the habits you want to have, and you'll reap good habits. Bully Bully, obviously, is about bullying, and... that's that. Sheep Eater is a song that Butch's girlfriend wrote about some spiritual abuse she received at the hands of a pastor at a church she used to be on staff with. And it's kind of an uneasy song for me to sing, because I have kind of an intrinsic, heartfelt attitude to treat our spiritual leaders, our shepherds, our pastors with honor. And I think that's a biblical thing. Even King David, when King Saul, who was like a messed up jerk, trying to kill him, throwing spears at him, David was, kind to him, and just kind of had this, I'm not going to demean or get a bad attitude about my leader. God put him there, so I'm going to respect that. So that's kind of the attitude I have. So it's kind of hard for me to sing this song about spiritual abuse. But when somebody has a bad attitude, like the Apostle Paul did with some false teachers, the Judaizers who wanted to force all the new converts to get circumcised and stuff, he called them dogs. So Paul the Apostle doesn't mince words. When it's called for, then you can call out somebody who's doing manipulative things. Dear John is about a voicemail message that Butch got from an angry husband that left a voicemail on his machine. John, you don't have to get back to me. I'll keep this very simple. Don't ever call my house at 11:53 a.m. And anyway, I need to hear the song. It's kind of a hoot. When Dan Was in the Band is another humorous song. Our drummer was often getting to be the butt of really sarcastic jokes, because he's a phenomenal drummer. Man, when Dan was in the band, things were so much better. We would kind of sigh and say, remember when Dan was in the band? And it would drive him crazy. And so so he wrote a song called When Dan Was in the Band. It's like, it's been 20 years, guys, get over it. It's my band now, kind of thing. And so Fire Ants is a song about a funny phenomenon, and going to the doctor to kind of get rid of some fire ant bites. Make Money and Die was written by Paul Kupek. And we asked Paul to actually co-produce this album with us. And he brought some songs to the table, and one of which is the music and the lyrics to Make Money and Die, which is probably the hit of the album as far as a single goes. It's popular when I play it for people here for the first time. As I Lay Crying is kind of a segue, instrumental segue. It's kind of a spoof on the band As I Lay Dying, because they have a segue on one of their songs on one of their albums. And As I Lay Crying is how the Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonator referred to Tim Lambesis' band, As I Lay Crying. So we named that instrumental As I Lay Crying. And it goes right into Faith Don't Fail Me Now, which to me is a heartfelt, kind of a crying song about a father lamenting and saying, please don't let my daughter die. And I wanted it to be like kind of like some of the Psalms. It's a lament where there's no resolution. You know, a lot of Christian music and art is wrapped up in a nice little package, like a television sitcom. In 30 minutes, you've got a problem and a resolution, and it wraps up nicely within the end of the show. I didn't want to write a song about that had a happy ending, because life isn't always that way, and some of the Psalms aren't that way. Where David cried out in Scripture, you know, where are you, God? How come my enemies are triumphing over me? Where are you? I don't feel you at all. And also, the song is called Faith Don't Fail Me Now, kind of a spoof on the term feet don't fail me now. I got to run and get out of here quick, so feet don't fail me now. Faith Don't Fail Me Now improperly uses the concept of faith, like faith is a force that we can use to make God do what we want. And that's a false notion that I purposely wrote into the song just to kind of show how it feels sometimes to be somewhat directionless, somewhat empty when it comes to the faith department, and just being desperate for help. And so that's what that song's about. I wanted to kind of capture the angst and emotions of suffering and really needing help without having the answer come with the Calvary riding up and saving the day. There Go I is kind of a song, there but for the grace of God go I. This is a song kind of like the Big M, where Paul Kupek, our old guitar player, said, hey, I'm going to write a song about masturbation called the Big M. And before he could come to the next band rehearsal with lyrics to this song, I wrote it. And so Bradford was going to write a song called There Go I. And before he could come to the band practice, I worked on a lyrics that everybody liked, including him, so we went with that. And it's just about don't judge a man when tomorrow he might be you, you know. The song called Meat is a song about Peter's vision, about eating meat. It's kind of a funny slap in the face to vegans. Not that we mean to purposefully offend you, but just to jokingly poke you in the ribs. You can get it? I said ribs. Way of saying, you know, I'm going to eat meat just like Peter did. Tiny Little Dots is a soundtrack, and the concept for the album is you got like a beautiful woman, but really it's an illusion. It's just a bunch of tiny little dots. Photography and, in essence, pornography is just an illusion. It's a fake stuff. And so Tiny Little Dots is kind of a song about a guy who's got a girlfriend, but really the girlfriend is a centerfold, and it's just all fake. GDP is Grandpa's Dangerous Prayer, about a prayer my granddad used to pray every day, which basically said, God, what are you up to today, and how can I be a part of it? I call it a dangerous prayer because you're giving God permission to say, okay, I want you to drive 45 miles to this remote location and do this bit of service for somebody you don't know, or whatever it may be. Sometimes we always gravitate towards, man, if I give God permission, he's going to make me do something weird like that. Well, maybe he will, but maybe it'll be something simple, like telling your family member that you love them and appreciate them for this and that. So anyway, that's the track-by-track listing for the Tiny Little Dots album by Lust Control. And you know what? It came out on limited edition colored vinyl. Just fell out here. We had some red vinyl mixed with the black. So every version, every copy is a little bit different. It's got a little bit different of a balance between red and black. Anyway, so that's the album. I've been wanting to do a track-by-track look at it forever, and so I decided to knock it out today. So sorry you had to suffer through this. You know, join the discussion. Tell us how much we suck.